Hey everyone, so today I wanted to film a little flip through of my Hobonichi Cousin and kind of explain how I'm using this planner alongside my personal rings planner, which is my main planner. I'm holding it kind of at an angle here because there's a glare. I got this glitter cover off of an A5 notebook that I got a long time ago, so I don't even know if you can get this cover anymore, but I put it over my Hobonichi Cousin, and just right in this front cover I glued in this quote that I love, talking about how life is art. I showed my vision board in a past flip through, so this is still the same. So here along the side you'll see 4 transparent page flags sticking out, and these mark my yearly, monthly, weekly, and daily sections. So this first section, I changed it up from the last time I showed you guys this. So previously I was using it as a habit tracker, so I had like my habits listed out at the top, and then I would put dots for tracking. I decided to move the tracking back into my main planner just because I liked to have my tracking front and center. I'm opening this planner throughout the day, but it's not open on my desk all day long like my rings planner is. So I moved my tracking over there and I changed this back to how I used to use this spread. So here in this main section, I'm logging my health stats. Sometimes I fall off, but it's not as important for me to do it every single day, but several times throughout the month so I can see my progress throughout the months over the course of a year. Up here in this section, my planning and like goals and stuff are always according to 3 priorities in my life, which is health, family, and business. So 1, 2, 3. So here I just started logging any kind of goals I reached or things I accomplished in those categories. And then at the bottom, I started tracking my business stats. I used to do that in my main planner, but I moved it here just because in my main planner, I'm trying to keep things that are kind of like more active planning, and this is more documenting. So yeah, I moved my business stats down here, and it's kind of personal, so I covered it. So this is my yearly section, and then the next tab is my monthly section. So this is for the month of February, and in the previous month I was doing like highlights, so events like holidays, or this is like a retreat, my daughter's first sleepover, things I just kind of want to note for the month. But then I was starting to feel like there's so much blank space here, and I don't know, there's always that weird feeling that you want to fill in everything. So for February, I tried something different. I still put things like birthdays and holidays, and I also put highlights like visiting my brother's new house that he just bought. But then if there were any days that there weren't any highlights, then I would just put like a little reflection, like deliberate practice is from the book I was reading at this time. Here I put off my game. So I started filling in any empty spaces, and then I kind of fell off at the end because I wasn't liking how that was turning out. Just to give you a peek at March, I went back to what I was doing in January, where I'm just doing the highlights, and it's okay if I have some blank boxes. The monthly section is still my major work in progress, and I'll just experiment trying different things. So then here is my weekly section. So my sidebar is a decorative box tracking my sleep, and then I was tracking my mood, but I changed it for February. So what I started doing was I would log the hours that I'm working and kind of note what I was working on during that time. And then at the bottom, I would like total up how much time I worked on filming or admin and so on. So I kind of like that. This was my first time trying that out. I stopped tracking my mood and I started tracking my work hours. So first of all, a little disclaimer, February was kind of a rough month for me with some health stuff, and so what you see here is not typical, but logging my hours was really eye-opening for me. You think you're spending this much time on work and this much time doing this and that, and then when you actually log it and see how much time you spent on it, it's really informative, and it really helps me see what I'm spending my time on. And I was still like logging my hours up here and then totaling it down here, and then each day how many hours that I actually worked. So like I said, these are not typical. So what you're seeing here is not a good representation of how I spend my days. So here's the following week. I added this tracker for how many hours I spent on each task. Like admin, I spent 9 hours this week on admin, and design, I spent 6 hours this week on design. So I find that helpful too, because I feel like my ideal week schedule, like let me show you in my main planner. I have our goal setting bundle, which has my planning routines. So for example, for the weekly, I schedule a different task for each day. And so here it's letting me know, like if I only do admin on Mondays from this time to this time, but here it's showing me that I spent way more time on admin than I allotted for in my weekly schedule, then for the following week, I can tweak that and give myself more time for admin. So that's one of the benefits of logging my hours, because it helps me be more realistic about my schedule. So then the following week, again, another not typical week because I was pretty sick all this week, as you can see. So minimal work got done. And when I say minimal work got done, that's for me on the design and social media and admin type work. But over in production where my husband works, he wasn't sick and he was still working on everyone's orders and stuff. So here, because I was trying to work a little bit but rest a lot, I had to fill up the time slots with something to indicate what was going on. So a lot of this is sick day, out of the office, putting stickers to block out that I was sick in bed, little Once More with Love and Coffee Monster Co. stickers to show my mood. I used some washi strips here to show my rest day. But luckily, I started feeling better the next week, and then things started to get back to normal. This is the last couple days in February. Since I use very minimal stickers in this planner, I wanted this planner to be a place that I can play more, be messy. As you can see, I don't really care about being that neat, which has been really kind of liberating for me, because in here I'm pretty neurotically neat in my everyday planner. But I've been really loving this. I feel like I'm really hitting my groove with my weekly spreads, and I really like the sidebars, because as we see in everybody's Instagram pictures, you can go like this and you can see your progress throughout the weeks at a quick glance. So I can see my progress of sleep, my work hours, how much time is spent on tasks. So I really like how this is working out. I did want to show you guys an example. So here again is my planning routines. And so here is my ideal daily schedule. So when I plan out my days, let's go to one of my recent days. Let's see. Let's do the 9th. So when I plan out my days here, I try to do it according to this ideal schedule. Here you can see morning routine, breakfast, and then a big chunk of time for work tasks, picking up the girls, all my evening stuff. I pretty much try to follow this ideal schedule over here. Of course, there's tweaks when there's meetings or things coming up. So let's look at a day that didn't really go according to plan. So here, for March 2nd, here is the plan for that day, and then this is how the day actually went. So started off filming, and then I was supposed to edit that video, but then for some reason, I guess I must have had some admin work that I had to get done, more of a priority. So I went straight into admin, and then more admin after lunch. So then here I was supposed to work on releases. I ended up not working on releases. I was doing some more admin stuff. And then down here, I did a lot more admin things. So if you look here on my daily schedule, I don't have any admin listed except for right here, but much of my day was spent on admin things. So that's what I mean when it's so interesting to see how I'm actually spending my time versus how I planned my day. So yeah, I just thought it was interesting to share that with you guys. So that's my weekly spreads, and I really love how I've been using this. I feel like it's super useful without just duplicating what I have in here. I feel like it serves two different purposes, and both are really helpful in my planning. So here's my daily section, and just a warning ahead of time, a lot of pages have these black sticky notes because this is really just my journaling section. So what I've been doing is this little section here is used for whatever book I'm currently reading, like quotes, a little reflection, a little bit of notes on that book. And then this section has been used for journaling. So I'll just flip through. So it's really bare bones. Here's a little example of something I did different. I finished the 12-week year here, and then I rated it and wrote a little reflection on how I liked the book. And then here, I did a poll over on Instagram, getting your guys' book suggestions. So I wrote down all the books you guys suggested. I also do a little bit of memory keeping in here sometimes as it comes up. Book notes, some more memory keeping. More journaling, memory keeping. Here I finished Grit. I give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really love this book a lot. So I think here I hadn't started reading a new book after Grit yet at this point. So that's why that's blank. Here I was writing things that are a challenge for me right now, and then I'm trying to combat it with the blessings in my life. So I started writing that list. Here I was playing around with the Hobonichi Cousin strips we made in our shop. I don't really use this for my daily planning, but I was testing it out to see how it would work. And then here, this was the Tuesday before Lent started for all my Catholic people out there. So I was reflecting on what I wanted to do for Lent regarding prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. And then here I started this book for my Lenten reflection, Rediscover Jesus by Matthew Kelly. So here I'm writing either a quote or some notes from that chapter or the reflection question. And then here I'm reflecting on what I read that day. So that's pretty much what I've been doing for the past, what day are we on? I don't know, 17, 18 days. Writing the prompt and then reflecting on it. I've really been enjoying this. Like I said, it's just a place for me to play and experiment and have a little bit more freedom than in my main planner. This is what I use to plan my life, and it keeps me organized and on top of things, but I keep it pretty simple and just kind of like my workhorse. Here is where I play and where I document. So I'm not really doing any planning in here. I'm doing documenting in here. For many attempts over the years, I tried to do journaling and nothing really stuck very well until now. I really feel like this is sticking really well. I'm really enjoying it. I look forward to my time every morning and every night when I'm filling this out. If you have any questions about what I shared today, leave them in the comments below and I'll answer any questions you have. Thank you so much for watching and spending some time with me today, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.